Welcome back, everyone, to Star Wars Minute, the podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate Solo, a Star Wars story, 1 minute at a time. My name is Ella, the retailer Moran.
Oh, and I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
And I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
So Pete, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about minute 130. First, let me just throw it in there for Kai and the wiki team's sake. If I was doing the intro, I would have said we analyze, scrutinize, and production assistant Kashia Olapade Hines, the Star Wars movies.
But you didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
I didn't say that. I would have. No, I didn't say that. But I wanted to throw it out there in case somebody's looking to, because that I can see that being.
Listen, do you just want to switch places, man? Because
no, not at all. I'm enjoying it over here. Let me.
All right, I invite you onto the show. You're a guest on my.
I'm sorry. I know it's a problem that I have where I go on other people's shows when I just railroad. I take over with my nonsense. But let me tell you, I'm excited for this minute because minute 130 starts with the second unit director of photography, Dominic Fish. And it ends with the very beginning of the digital artist's kill screen, which is when it starts to list digital artists, and it will be more than one full screen of them. I think it's more than two full screens of them, where it's like you lose track of, you don't even see what the credit is for. It's just names.
So did you
names.
look each one of those names up?
No. But you know what I did look up?
What's that?
I looked up the Pete's that are in these credits in this minute.
How many are there?
We have 6 Pete's to list. One of them is in on a last name visa, but that's okay. Perfectly acceptable part of the team. We'll start out with art director Peter Dorme. We've talked about him before, I think, especially because sounds like one of the handmaidens. We've got art department assistant in parentheses U.S. So in the United States, art department assistant is one Susan Peters.
Multiple Peters.
She counts. Our old friend, the Hod modeler, Pierre Bohanna. Now, I think once we looked up what a Hod modeler was, but I like not knowing, and I like just calling him the Hod modeler, Pierre Bohanna.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, we've got Peter Marsden is simply listed as DIT. Don't know what it is. Don't feel like looking it up. I just like the DIT.
Director in training.
Could be.
Are you saying that as you know this, or you're guessing?
I am guessing.
Okay.
All right.
I will say Doctor of Internal Tedison.
Let's see, what was that? Oh yeah, DIT, Peter Marsden. Unit Location Manager, Peter Bardsley.
Mm-hmm.
And then not in the long list of digital artists, but lead digital artist. So one of the ones who's leading the rest, leading the pack, Peter Demarest.
Are you sure it's not lead?
He's lead. He paints miniatures, but digitally.
Everyone thinks it's CGI, but there's a lot of miniature work.
Miniature, yeah, and like D&D miniatures. They're like tiny little.
Yeah.
Like you see on Stewart's TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the lead digital artists, I think was where is he? There's Todd Vaziri, who is active on Twitter, likes to chime in a lot about the state of effects, and people mistakenly saying that things are or aren't effects shots, and he's very, at least on my Twitter feed, he's very active and informative. Todd Vaziri. And so that was one of the names that I recognized in there. Besides, of course, Peter Demarest. who I'm assuming is the lead of the lead digital artist. He's like, well, he tells everybody else what to do, and the rest of them just get the.
I was going to call attention to a credit I noticed in this a minute.
Sure.
Did you have more Pete's to wrap up?
No, that was all 6. So
okay. I want to give a shout out to Pam Sinsheimer, who was the lead visual effects production accountant. And that's one of those ones that I remember last season. I think we had the visual effects company marketing department, vice president of marketing.
That's the VP of sales. That's the one.
Okay,
that's the one that got me. VP of sales for Photochem, and that was not. It wasn't even an effects department.
Yeah,
that's but you know what, the accountant for the effects thing, that I'll count that because that's an important. They need to know she helps make the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But I mean, how far do you extend that? Do you extend that? Oh, that was the Uber driver who brought me to work one time. Technically, the movie, I would not have been at work that day without the Uber driver.
Or the accountant.
The drivers,
or the Uber
drivers
driver
are listed in there. They don't take Ubers, but they have, the drivers are listed.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
They count. They help make it.
Another interesting job. I understand what this means, but it's still a funny credit to me. Andrew Simonin. He's the crowd hair supervisor.
Oh,
and that's kind of a funny visual, I guess. Much like Nicola Puck is the crowd makeup supervisor.
Oh yeah.
I think that sounds like a great job.
Yeah,
because I imagine that the crowd, like, if you're working with extras, they're fairly happy to be there. It's kind of a fun gig.
Yeah.
They're getting, if you get like hair attention, like while you're on set as an extra, I bet that's, I'm speaking totally without any, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I imagine that would be fun. And then I think getting to work, be the person that gets to do the hair. Of
Yeah.
One of the only time as an adult that somebody I don't know has cut my hair was on set of when I was briefly a model for a Jim Beam ad campaign. That's come up before, but that's the only time that somebody who I don't know has cut my hair.
How did it look?
Looked fine. I had to get up halfway through it to go to the shoot. So it looked fine.
It's just like
so Ella, this is a question we've asked other guests in the past, but I don't think we've ever asked you this question. Suppose your dream came true and you got to have a small role in a Star Wars film. What type of role do you see yourself in? You want to be a robot? You want to be an alien? You want to be an Imperial officer? What's your...
You mean other than special effects accountant? Because
you have to be on screen.
Oh, on screen. Okay.
You have to be on screen. You don't want to be on screen. You prefer to be the accountant? That's that would be an unusual.
No, I think I'd prefer to
twist.
do crowd hair, not to take it away
Crowd
from.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I would want to
field.
be.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a good question. Hold on. Take this seriously.
You can think about it while we talk about other stuff if you want.
No, I'd want to be recognizable, so I would want to have my face seen. I think I would like to be an alien creature in a cantina, visible face but maybe a different color, and some extra prosthetic arms or eyeballs or like tongue, something
extra tongue. That's a funny very
like an extra long tongue.
You said an extra lung.
An extra lung.
You wouldn't be able to tell from the outside. It's just like, this is a weird alien with an extra lung.
It's just a random genetic quirk, like Greedo with his toes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll put you down then. Alien, prosthetics, but face visible.
Yes.
Extra lung.
Yeah.
So when you do the convention circuit, you can kind of sign the pictures of your face with
absolutely.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the key. You need something where you get a picture. We've talked about this before, but the people who are like behind a mask in like a random, the random stormtroopers and stuff like that, it's just like, all right, I trust that that's you and I'll get that. And it's kind of, but it's more I think you want to have your face there for signing stuff. It's better. It's
Definitely.
more. Although, if you're behind a mask, a lot of the people who are behind a mask play like 4 or 5 characters, and so then they have a bunch of different options. So people might show up and be like, "Oh, let me get a Kiadi Mundi and a Antidar Williams or whatever the other roles that guy played were."
And obviously,
so maybe you can double up that way.
You two must have answered this question already, but has your thinking evolved on this, or do you feel strongly about whatever it is you originally said the first time you answered this question?
Well, do you want to guess what we said? You don't have to. I don't even remember what I originally said.
I feel like Pete would want to be a Rhodian, and I feel like Alex would want to be a moisture farmer.
Well, I will, of course, take any role they offer me. I think I've probably said alien just because I wanted the idea of being like sitting in the makeup chair and that whole experience.
Right. I think you didn't want your face seen. I think you wanted to be covered with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I went for the opposite reason. I think I went Imperial officer because it's like
of course.
I want to.
Of course.
That way I get to have and I would like to have like one line.
Well, that's the best thing because then you get to write it on your thing.
It's like, "Sir, the door's locked," or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign that. Yeah.
What's Max Rebo?
What is his? You mean like what is his species?
Yeah.
Or I don't know what his
like
species
I knew
is.
this.
Yeah.
It's something goofy. Said I'm gonna look it up while you.
Yeah. But I guess that's a puppeteer.
Yeah, I was trying to think of if there was anything with a long tongue, and he doesn't have a long tongue, but he's got he's pendulous, right? He's got stuff hanging off of his
he has
ears
like a long
nose.
snout kind of. And
those aren't
ears.
those are his flippers.
He doesn't have long ears?
There are 2 schools of thought when it comes to Max Rebo. There's the original design and the action figure and then subsequent kind of designs. But the original design, and for which the puppet is made from, those things sticking up his head are his flippers, and he's playing the keyboard with his toes. His legs are up, and he's sitting on a cushion. But then when they made the toy, they made those his hands and those his ears, and they gave him legs so you could stick him in the thing.
Yeah. Guess there's some more.
I might have just accidentally posted the words Max Rebo to Nextdoor, but that's because I'm using my phone.
If you did, just leave it there. See what people what people say. Something racist, undoubtedly.
Yeah,
if it's next door.
Why do you even have Nextdoor?
Oh, he's an ortolan.
Oh, yeah.
Ortolan.
Of course, I never would have gotten that in 1,000 years.
But yes, there's a schism when it comes to Max Rebo's design aesthetic as to what different people think.
Star Wars fans will argue and hate each other about anything. I have some information here about the release of the movie. It was released, of course, on May 25th, 2018. The budget is not officially confirmed, but according to IMDb, it's speculated that it was $275 million. And I guess, I mean, I'm showing my age, I guess. What year did Titanic come out? Is it like 97 or something? 94?
Let's go with that. That sounds right.
99? No, that's too late, right?
But that was one of the first movies I remember everyone being stunned that a movie cost over $100 million.
Well, I looked it up, and Titanic was 1912. So
okay. So
1912.
Yeah.
So
that was a lot of money.
What is that?
Yeah.
It's like $75.
Inflation, what is that? Yeah, something like that.
You've never seen Titanic?
No, I haven't.
Ella, have you seen Titanic?
I have. Yes.
Okay.
At least a handful of times.
So, so I'm always shocked when movies cost over $100 million because I guess on some level I'm still like, that's how much Titanic cost, even though that was 1,000 years ago. In Rotten Tomatoes, I thought was kind of interesting. It gets a 69% from the critics.
Ooh.
And 64% from audiences. So not that much, not that diverse of a for a Star Wars movie. That's pretty unusual. Usually it's like
right.
Yeah.
People love giving these movies bad ratings and stuff.
Yeah, when I was last looking at whatever the last thing that I looked up, I looked it up on IMDb, and then in the comment section, where the first comment was better than The Last Jedi, and I was like, oh god, even here, like. So I'm. It's funny that even it's something that people seem to agree on as being mediocre, which I disagree. I think it's above average. Well, average. What's average? But I think it's a rather enjoyable film. It's a nice fun romp, but even that people tend to argue on it. And
school-wise,
points.
Go ahead, Ella.
I was just going to say one thing that because I was I was under a time crunch to rewatch the film before speaking with you guys today. And I told the kids, I was like, we're going to just fast forward through like long, boring action fight sequences. And I thought that was going to shave off a lot of time, and it really didn't. I remembered there actually weren't any sequences that were long enough that it like felt like it made an impact on the length of the film overall, which made me like it more.
Yeah, it goes through a lot of different there's them as street urchins, there's the whole war scene, there's the heist, there's the mine. There's a lot of chunks to it,
Yeah, it moves at a pretty good clip.
Yeah. My last question is, here we are in the credits, and suppose you happen to be friends with visual effects post-production assistant Andrew Zico. He would never do this because he's a professional, but suppose you were friends with him and he's like, hey man, I'm putting together the credits for the new Star Wars movie. Give me a fake credit and I'll put it in the movie with your name attached to it. A, would you do it? And B, what would be the fake credit you would want to use?
I mean, clearly... visual ethics supervisor.
Visual ethics supervisor. Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah. Only visual ethics, though.
That's right.
Right.
Totally different.
Auditory ethics or somebody else's department.
Yeah. So I hear. Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. Because all I can think of right now is Hod Modeler.
Yeah, that's already taken.
It would be nice to do like. I might want to do like Mod Hodler and be right under the Hod Modeler.
Or
something like that. You know what I mean? Or the, like, what was the, under the DIT, I want to be like PYT or something like that. Do like a joke add on to somebody else's credit.
Yeah, that's a good.
I wish more movies would follow the airplane, the Abrams and Foots joke, especially for people like you who are like, I'm determined to sit here and watch the entire thing. Then, do you actually read all the credits as well?
Not all of them, but sometimes I'll
you'll skip around.
Actually, the other day we went to the movies and we saw the Legion of Super Pets.
Oh, speaking of The Rock and John Travolta.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. It didn't have John Travolta in it, but
could have.
John Travolta was in a different movie that we watched recently where he played an animated animal.
Oh,
he was in Bolt.
Oh,
Bolt.
He played Bolt.
The titular Bolt.
The titular Bolt.
Who is that beetle in
John
Kubo
Lennon?
and the Two Strings?
That
wasn't John
forgot
Travolta.
Somebody
Kevin
else.
Hart.
No,
Kevin Hart was in Super Pets.
Oh,
He played Ace the Bat Hound.
Matthew McConaughey, maybe.
Matthew McConaughey.
He played a beetle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you haven't seen Kubo and the Two Strings, I highly recommend it. It's much better than either of those other two that we just mentioned.
Bolt or the Legion of Super Pets.
Yeah.
It's a different movie. It's trying to do different things.
How many pets are in the Legion of Super Pets?
Well, this one, it plays a little bit, loose with DC continuity. But it's expected. It's a kid's movie and it's fun, but they end up at the end having one pet per Justice League member of the core kind of, Snyderverse Justice League team. I
still wouldn't call that a Legion, though. Legion sounds like 100 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called the Legion of Super Pets, right? So
yeah.
it's not all superhero pets. They're also super villain pets. And so If you
That's
add
true.
the superhero pets to the supervillain pets, you might end up with a legion.
That's true. There are a large amount of supervillain pets in it. So
Aw. Are the pets also evil?
yeah, they're not
Yeah.
pets of supervillains.
They're just evil
Pets who
pets.
are evil.
Villainous.
Like Hitler's dog.
No.
No.
That's the opposite.
Like,
There's like one of
Hitler the
those.
dog.
And then there's a bunch of like, they're minions, evil super pet minions. Anyway, it's not minions, different thing altogether. Why were we talking about this?
There's a legion of minions.
We stayed for the credits because I wanted to see the song credits, soundtrack credits, because I was like, oh, there were 2 or 3 songs that I
Mm-hmm.
was surprised that they used because it seemed kind of out of place, but nice. Like, well, one is perfectly placed. That,
Pets by Porno for Pyros.
No,
Love
but to
cats.
have Superman and Crypto playing and have
All-Star.
You're My Best Friend by Queen,
Aw.
because man's best friend, that whole thing. That was, but then there were a couple of hip hop kind of drops, syncs, as they say, in there. That I was like, oh, I wanted to check the music credits, and then we got.
Wait. Sorry, are you about to spoil the sting at
No,
the
no,
end of
no,
Legion
no.
of Super Pets? Okay, I was gonna
No.
say you gotta shut
But
your mouth
we
right
got
now.
distracted because I think R4 didn't. He thought the song was too scary in part of the credits. He didn't, or boring or something. There's part of he didn't like the song in this
Oh.
part of the credits, so we got up and we walked to the back. But by the time we walked to the back of the theater, it had
was
started
scary.
a different song. But then I turned around and the music credits had just, I think, passed. So we just stayed for the rest after that then.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna
But- so I
spoil the
missed it.
sting, but there was a very sweet moment where there's like a reveal in the sting, and the guy who was sweeping up all of the candy that Alex probably threw on the floor
Yeah.
Mhm. As
was
is
like
my right as an American.
super excited. He just the reveal happened, and he was just like, "Oh!" So it must have
Oh,
been
he
the
hadn't
first
seen it
time.
before. That's
no,
crazy.
Yeah, we
No,
luckily
yeah.
got
You
to
think
see
he
it.
would have?
Well, we went
been sick
opening
of it.
weekend, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have no idea.
Also, I want to point out, job creator. Thank you very much. If you throw your, if everyone threw their garbage out, that guy would have no job. So
Hmm.
let's not be too hasty. Well, that's all I have for minute number 130 of Solo, a Legion of Pets, Super Pets story.
This is slowly turning into a weekend edition episode. So let's call
All right,
it there.
let's get
And
back
hey,
to these names.
if you want to hear a weekend edition episode, I got good news for you.
Yes.
If you go to StarWarsMinute.com/Patreon and support us there at any level, you get access to some stuff. We've been posting our weekend review shows where we are reviewing things. We started with the final to date James Bond film, No Time to Die, and we're making our way via chain reaction to the Cassian Andor show, which is going to be coming up pretty soon. And there's also Star Wars Minute Weekend Edition, which we've been doing for years and years. There's hundreds of these that you can go back and listen to. And also we offer an ad-free version of the show, the main feed show. So you can check all that out at StarWarsMinute.com/Patreon. Support us there. Ella, thank you for being with us all week.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun. It's been years and years and years, I think, since I've been
has.
on here. And
Long
it's
time.
lovely
Long time,
to
so
long time. See you both.
um yeah.
Especially Alex, who
And-
I don't get to see every day.
Aw.
and
yeah,
talk
that's
to
true. You've never
everybody.
been. You haven't been on a show since we've been doing video, so this might be the
Yeah.
first time that people are seeing you.
Thanks.
You didn't think about
but,
that, did you?
No. More
I'll
than
go in
I
and-
bargained for.
Yeah.
We'll cover you up with a CG alien that has two
Put-
tongues.
Yes.
and-
Filters and everything. It'll be
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Unrecognizable.
But yes, thanks to Ella and thanks to you for listening, and thanks to our supporters at StarWarsMinute.com/Patreon, and hopefully we'll see you all next week for the final week of the season of Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.